everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. Please subscribe and hit the like button. That helps my channel a lot. Alright, my box today measures 3.5 by 3.5 by 3/4. It opens this way so you don't have to take off the bow. And inside are 4 fun-sized candies, 2 Kit Kats and 2 Hershey bars, so it'll fit a bunch of the flat ones. You could probably only fit 2 or 3 of like the Milky Ways, but the skinnier ones you can fit 4. Again, I'm using the Potions and Spells bundle, available now, very cute. And I'm using the square from the Stylish Shapes dies. Okay, so what we need for this project: some stamping, basic white. We need a piece of gorgeous grape that is 9 by 5 3/4. This square out of Granny Apple Green, and it is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then a piece of gorgeous grape, which I cut myself to 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Okay, we're using the Brights Pumpkin Pie Designer Series paper. You need 2 pieces that are 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 and 4 that are 3 1/4 by 1/2. All right, let me get my Simply Scored. This is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and your tax. Okay, and we're going to start on the 9-inch side. Score at 3/4, 4 1/4, 5, and 8 1/2. Turn it to the 5 3/4 inch side and score at 3/4, 4 1/4, and 5. All right, now I'm going to fold and burnish my score lines. Okay. Now your 1/2 inch rectangle is over here, and there is a 3/4 inch strip here, here, and 2 at the top. All right, and this is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so we're going to start over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge both sides of the square. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line, and then wedge that square. And then go to the last score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. Okay, now turn it so that that 1/2 inch rectangle is over here. And we're going to go to the second score line, cut it to the second score line, and take off all 4 of these pieces, and then wedge up actually this way into your skinny rectangle. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom square, and wedge the square that we have left. And then the last score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the square, oops, on the bottom, and wedge the top one. And then you just want to round your top corners. All right, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done scoring and cutting. Okay, I'm going to get some tear-in tape and put it on what's left of the 1/2 inch rectangle next to the score line. Take the backing off and then flip it over and put it together. Now this is our back, so we're just going to glue the bottom. Okay, now we need our DSP and the large pieces front and back, and the 4 1/2 inch pieces on all the sides. So let's let that dry a minute, and we're gonna work with, first let's do the basic white, and you're gonna need a little bit of scrap, and we're gonna use the cauldron. I'm gonna ink up only halfway down. We're only getting about 1 inch, maybe a little bit less is what we want. So make sure you have a straight edge. Stamp that. Okay. And then we need our bird. Okay. And I'm going to cut these out. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces cut out. And what I want to do is get my square, and I'm going to put it right above the stitches or holes in this and try to get it, well, it doesn't really matter now. And then just put a light pencil mark there. And then we want Grape Apple Green ink, and we're going to use the bubbles, and we're going to do them just below that mark in the middle. Okay, and then I need some scrap again, and I'm just going to, actually first let's do the sentiment, which is double double, toil and trouble. I always thought it was double bubble, toil and trouble. And I'm going to line up the double double. The toil and trouble goes a little crooked. It's meant to go like that. Let me show you. Okay, and then we're going to use the Granny Apple Green again, and I'm just going to try not to get the bottom bubbles, but I'm going to go all around to try to put bubbles on the top here, but not really getting the sentiment if we could help it. Okay. And then let's fit this. It's going to be like that. Yeah, maybe I'll put a little bit down here because I did on the other side. Okay. All right, now we're going to be done with our ink, and we're going to do our coloring. So I'm only using 4 light flirty flamingo. I'm going to use just for that tiny piece of little tongue on the crow or the raven, whichever. Light basic black, dark smoky slate, and for the eye I'm going to use light daffodil delight. Just the white of the eye I'm going to make yellow. On the crow, I'm going to make the beak dark, light basic black, and just underneath the bottom of the feathers, the wing actually. Let me get the beak part here. Okay. And then I'm going to fill in the rest of the bird with dark smoky slate. All right, and then for the top of the cauldron, I'm going to use light basic black for this piece that of the handle that's showing. And then right underneath the lip of the cauldron, and wherever these little marks are that they show. Okay, and then I'm just going to fill in the rest with dark smoky slate. All right, Now we need this piece again, and we're just going to glue it so that it's right above the dots on the bottom of our square. Just going to try to get it pretty even because it hangs off a little bit, and we'll clip that from the back. Okay, once it's set, I'm just going to clip off whatever hangs over. Like this is a little snapshot. Okay. Now, let's attach this square to the Gorgeous Grape, which is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. There's just a 1/16 of an inch border all around. Okay, so then we need our box. You put in whatever candies you want. And I'm going to get my striped iridescent ribbon and make sure where your top is. We want our bow on the right side. Okay. Then we're going to put dimensionals. I'm going to put 2 on the ribbon to make sure it stays put. And then on the corners of my rectangles, and we're just going to put this on. Okay, and then we need, I'm going to put a dimensional on the head of our raven and just put a little bit of glue on his feet. And I'm going to put him right where he doesn't mess up the sentiment. Right there. Okay. And for the final touch, I'm going to use some purple fine shimmer gems in the Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to put one right there. A large one there, a large one up here, and then a small one right there. And that's it. All of my info is below for my Stampin' Up! Shop and my blog. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and have a great weekend. I will see you next week. Bye.